All right, we're gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm trying to help out a buddy of mine, and we're going to be streaming his series race in NASCAR Heat 5, and we're gonna see how it goes. This is kind of a test, and we're just gonna see what happens. All right, so stick around. I won't be saying very much as far as comments and whatnot, but we're gonna go ahead and get in here and see what we can do to try to make it somewhat exciting. Like I said, it's primarily a test. We're going to see what happens, and we'll just go from there. And forgive me, I didn't eat dinner yet, so I'm like doing all kinds of stuff. All right. I'm going to do something right here also, if I can. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Okay. So right now he's getting his lobby set up. He's getting all the drivers assembled. I used to be in a league, and then I had some issues pop up, and I just kind of exploded. And I'm taking a break. Let's just put it that way. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably take my face off of this. So we're gonna watch live race, and I'll be able to go through this. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take my face off. So that way, it's primarily just the race, and we'll have a few seconds to get things going. Okay, so today's lineup, we have the Rooster. Position first and broke, 76. A Panco 71, Lone Mist Rebel, Smooth Operator 916, Frasier 661, Stormier Odin 20, Sneaky Snake 289, Carhartt 8595, and then we have a bunch of AI drivers. We're not going to be paying attention much to the AI drivers, so we're going to go back to the lead here. We have, let's see. Okay, so in the 5 car, we have Rooster 20698. Looks like he started in the lead. He has dropped back to 4th. He's getting passed right now for 4th. But that high line at Kansas, as you know, is the fast way around the track. So we're going to go ahead and take a look back at the lead. We have P first and broke, 7-6. He took the lead on lap 1. He is currently leading going into turn 4, but we have a challenge for the lead. We have Lone Mist Rebel in the 45 challenging P first for the lead. They're going into turn 1 right now, and Lone Mist is right on his bumper, right up against the wall, trying to get that momentum so we can try to swing down. But we also have incoming cars. The whole top 5 is right there on top of each other. The top 6 cars. The 44 is making a move, trying to get down inside. But once again, that high side at Kansas is so strong, it's very difficult to make a run. And we do have some separation now, it seems, from the actual drivers in the race and the sim cars in the back. Sim cars could play a factor as the race goes on. We do have approximately 136 laps in this race. And the battle for the lead is heating up as Lone Mist goes inside. A little bit of contact right there. He's trying to get the momentum, but he can't get the position. Oh, a little bit more contact. The 1 gets into the wall. And the 7 is right there, just anticipating the next move. Perhaps the 45 might get a little bit of rub from the 1 car. Coming to the line, we've got the 45, the 1, the 7, the 5, 44, 14. Oh, that's the 15. My apologies. Go back up to the lead. We have Lone Mist still in the lead. The battle for second has heated up. The 1 car has dropped back to 5th. He's having a little bit of an issue. He might have a little bit of damage from getting into contact with the wall. The 7 has a run with the 5 car pushing him from behind. The 45 is blocking as you do. You have to stop those runs. Going into turn 1, once again, Lone Mist has the advantage of being on the high side. The 7 car is trying to make a move, but the momentum on the high side just always prevails. Unless you have drafting help pushing from behind, that's just not going to get the job done unless that car on the high side gets into the wall or makes a mistake. The 5 car is trying to get inside now. As you can see, the second position is going to keep shifting as long as that car tries to make a pass. You have to make that pass at the right time, or it's just not going to happen. The physics at this track and the way that the cars handle just does not allow for a really strong run to happen going down on the inside. Maybe when the tire wear takes an issue and the car might get into the wall, you have to patiently wait for that first car to make a mistake in order to have a good position and opportunity to make a move. So after the first few laps, we have the top 8 cars about stringing out, just calming down a little bit, getting into a rhythm. It's a long race. But the top 3, once again, you can throw a blanket on them. They are right on top of each other. If the 5 and the 7 work together here, they might have an opportunity to get past the 45. But the 5 car sticks with the 45. That's interesting because, as I said, you're just going to keep swapping that second position as long as you don't provide help to that car who's trying to make the pass on the leader. Because here we go. The 45 is on the outside. He has that momentum coming around. And the 7 car is going to end up stalling out, especially with the 5 car pushing the 45. But the 5 looks like he wants to try to do something else, maybe. He might be trying to push the 45 into a mistake. The 7 car has position at the moment, but they're coming to the line, and the 5 is pushing the 45 to the start-finish line, once again in the lead. It's hard to tell at the moment because I am unable to see the status of the race. I don't know if the AI cars that they've caught are just slow or if there is actually a caution. Based on what I'm seeing now, there's not a caution. They just have lap traffic to deal with, and they're going to have to get through that cleanly. The leader's making his way through the lap traffic. It's going to add some element of difficulty if he's unable to do that. And the 5 is right there, pressuring him, giving a little bump going into 3. If these guys stick bumper to bumper, they have a chance to pull away from the rest of the pack. But if the rest of the cars are able to get through... Oh, nope. It looks like we're under caution now. So we have Lone Mist Rebel followed by the 5 car. Okay. So this is the first time I've actually done this and paid attention to what's actually happening. It appears that the viewing order that I'm able to scroll through, it remains in the order that they started the race. So we have the 45 of Lone Mist Rebel, the 5 of the Rooster. We have the 7 car in 3rd, 1 in 4th, the 44 in 5th, the 43 in 6th, followed by the 14, the 15, the 55, I believe. And they're going into turn 1, getting up to speed. Now, going into turn 1 on a restart is fine if you take the inside line, because there's a chance that the second place car could get a run on the outside, but the first place car has to protect from behind him. And as you can see, the 1 car got back into the wall a little bit. A little bit of a rough restart for the 1 car. But we do have a battle for the lead where the 7 car is making a move on the 45, but the 45 has pulled ahead once again, and you have the 5 car getting right in behind him. Seven car once again is making a dive to the inside, trying to get his position back from the 5. It's a 4 car breakaway, 3 laps after the restart. The 44 gets in the wall a little bit. The 7 gets into the 44, and the 44 makes contact with the wall again. That's the edge that these drivers have to deal with. They have to make sure that they don't push the boundary too hard. If they get in that wall and they lose the momentum, they have to group back up, get back with the draft, and try to chase down the cars that are running a cleaner line. And the 44 and the 7, they got together right there, and that slowed down that whole group. The 5 wasn't close enough to the 45, and he was out of position. He was not able to get any help, so now the 45 has broke out to a little bit of a lead on the rest of the pack. Top 8 cars have broke away from the rest of the pack. Once again, the drivers are breaking away from the sim cars. And it looks like the cars are slowing. It looks like there's caution, even though the game says that it's under green still. It's going to be interesting when we see the next NASCAR game come out next year, developed by iRacing. It'd be nice to see how realistic it is, the different options possibly in broadcasting, and we'll see how that plays out over time. So a pretty eventful restart with some cars getting into each other and getting into the wall. It's a shame I wasn't able to see what happened at the back of the pack that caused that caution. We're going to try to do a different camera angle during this restart so we can see what's happening in the back of the pack. So from the leader's view, looking backwards, they're coming up through the gears. The green flag is out. The 5 did not get a good restart. The 44 is going to take that position away from him and push the 45 into the turn 1. And then immediately jumps outside to try to catch the draft from the 5, which is kind of an interesting move. You want to stay tucked in behind the 45 right there so you can have momentum to get down the backstretch and possibly make a move going inside, going into 3. But it looks like they've grouped up and they're trying to make another move, but the 5 is unable to stay locked to the bumper of the 44, and they start to space out once again. The 1 car is coming back up through the field after having a little bit of a rough start and a little bit of a rough restart. Ooh, there's a little bit of contact right there between the 1 and the 5. The 44 sweeps up high, washes out a little bit, and slows down the outside line behind the 45, and the 45 has now got a little bit of a gap. The top 6 cars have broke away now, and the 5 car gets into the wall a little bit. The 44 car gets into the wall as well. and they're allowing the 45 to get away, running those dirty lines. And the 1 car and the 44 make contact. The 1 car's in the grass going through the tri-oval and drops to the back of this pack. The 5 car makes contact with the wall. Almost clips the 7. And now the 1 car is back behind this pack once again. Bad luck again for the 1 car, getting swept up with what happened with the 44. But because of that draft, the 44, as long as they can run a clean line, they might be able to get the 5 car tucked in behind them, and they could catch the 45 and hope the 45 makes a mistake, or that they're able to get a run put together with support from the 5, and they can actually make an attempt to pass the 45. But they have to be smart about it. He has to get support from the 5, or it's just not going to happen. Several laps from the restart, things have calmed down just a little bit at the front as we're stretched out a little bit, although the 44 does not want anything to do with it. There's a little bit of contact between the 44 and the 45 as the 44 gets by the 45. He's going to sweep up high and try to do a slide job, but the 45 sweeps back down to the inside to take that position back away, has the momentum to make the pass clean. 44 got in there a little rough and made contact with the 45 going into 1. I think it took the 45 off guard. Now the 5 is trying to make an attempt on the 44, but the 44 is pushing him down a little bit, trying to kill the momentum. And the 43 gets in the wall behind this pack. You have to have confidence running that high line. You have to be fearless running that line, but you also have to maintain consistency. You have to make sure that you hit those marks. You have to hit the exact points turning and accelerating so you don't make contact with that wall, because it will kill the momentum. Whereas if you are able to get through clean, your momentum stays up and you're able to stay with the pack and have an opportunity to make some passes. But as you can see, we are now under caution, and unfortunately it happened far back enough in the pack that we were unable to see it. So we have some strategy. The 44, the 7 have stayed out on the track. As we come to the green, the 44 takes that inside line and gets past the 7. Wants to keep that momentum going, needs to make those clean shifts so he can maintain optimum speed going into turn 3 and maintain the track position on the high side so he can keep momentum. But the 7 has the momentum going in and is able to complete the pass. That's pretty surprising. He did it without any help. The 44 and the 5 are right there. The 45 is trying to come back on the outside right now. He has the preferred line going into 1. 3 wide battle. The 44 gets into the 7, gets into the 45. They all make contact. 44 then gets into the wall. The 43 squeezes past it into the lead. The 5 car follows the 43 in the lead, and now the 44 goes back down inside trying to collect themselves. The 45 gets into the 44, gets up into the 1. The 1 makes contact with the wall again. The 1 is having a hell of a race, just probably frustrated that they keep getting into contact. And there's massive contact right here. The 7 and the 1 make contact. They bounce off the wall. Absolute chaos in this restart as drivers with fresh tires storm through the pack. As you can see, the 7 has dropped way back now. Also on old tires, it's going to be really difficult for the 7 to make any progress to get back towards the front. Lone Mist, the 45, they took tires. You can see they're battling back now up to 3rd even after all that contact. As long as the 43 and the 5 continue to battle it out, Lone Mist will catch these guys and possibly pass them with the fresh tires and as dominant as his car has been so far. Someone we haven't spoken too much about because it's just been very hectic. The 14 is behind the 44. They're settled in here. They're just trying to race clean, get to the bumper of the 44 and possibly push them forward, and if not, get past the 44 and hope the 44 can push them so they can catch the front four as they start to pull away. One car is recovered from the incident involving the other cars and is pushing forward. Has the preferred line, but they have to keep the momentum up. The 14 is coming up high, and it looks like we are under caution once again. These cautions are good for the cars that keep getting involved in the incidents, as it allows them to make any necessary repairs, but also allows them to close the gap and gives them another shot to try to battle it out for the lead and the stage win. So coming to the restart, we see that the 5 car has taken the lead. They start from the front. The 43 on the outside, the 45 in third, followed by the 14, the 1, the 41. It looks like some cars have pitted. The 5 goes low going into turn 1, loses some draft help from the 45. The 45 is trying to split the difference down the middle. The 43 has the preferred line, but they do not have momentum as the drafting help disappeared. The 45 takes second, going down the backstretch and into turn 3. They are closing in on the 5 car quickly, but the 45 now is out of position. They need to get some drafting help in order to make that move work. There's a little bit of contact between the 45 and the 43 coming to the start-finish line. That's one lap since the restart. And the 14 gets on the wall, bounces hard going into turn 1. The 1 car is up there again. The 1 car is just hoping that nobody gets into him anymore so that he has a chance to battle for the lead. He has a fast car, as evidence from him continuously coming back to the front even after getting collected in several incidents. 5 car leads going into 4. 1 car passes for second. The 45 and the 1 have to make sure that they race clean right here so that they don't allow the 5 to break away. And the 5 has to continue to run clean laps. And we are under caution once again. I have a feeling that these AI cars are wreaking a bit of havoc. Usually you don't see this many cautions occur. So that's actually the stage break. We're coming to the green now. As you see, the 44 has taken some strategy as they take the green flag in first. As we head down to turn 1, we have the 44 followed closely by Chase Elliott in the 9, and we have the 55 behind them. The 51, I apologize. And we have a gaggle of cars coming out of 2. There are several cars wide. Those cars coming from the back with fresh tires during the stage break. They're trying to catch back up to the front. It probably will make quick work of the rest of the field. As you see, the 45 is already back up to second place. The 45 and the 1 car are locked in as they were at the end of the stage. They are now tracking down the 44. The 1 car looks like he gets on the wall just a little bit there. The 44 running a little bit shallower of a line than you anticipate. And the 45 closing in, running just a little bit lower, possibly just trying to get a little bit more momentum exiting the turn. Right on the bumper of the 44 coming to the start-finish line. 45 is going to want to try to use the momentum to get outside of the 44 to try to have the preferred line going into 1. But if they have the momentum, Lone Miss gets inside the 44, and the 44 pushes just a little too hard and gets into the wall. 44 comes back down the track in front of the 1 car. The 1 car loses it up into the wall out of turn 2. And the 5 car now is trying to make a pass on the 44 and does, getting into 3. The 5 car will have the momentum and moves into second. One car has collected himself and has stayed in front of the 7 car. 43 now is making a move on the 44. The 44's older tires might be a bit of a concern at this point. Might be hoping for one of those very reoccurring cautions that might come out very soon as the 43 is outside the 44 and makes that pass work. The 1 car is still in front of the 7, but the 1 car gets into the wall again. But the 1 car has enough momentum to get inside the 44 coming out the turn, but the 7 car is right there as well. The 1 car makes a slide job work in front of the 44, and the 7 car gets trapped down underneath the 44, but the 44 comes back down a little bit and makes a little bit of contact. 5 cars got the 45 for the lead, but they might just be following for the moment. And we are slowing down, probably under caution once again. As we get ready to come to the green, the 1 car stays out and many other cars have come down pit road. Strategy at work. Get those fresh tires and get the repairs made, and we go green. There's a chaos in the back of the field as some cars don't move. They don't go forward when the green flag drops, and it looks like we're still under caution. Chaos in the back. Oh no. And I pushed the wrong button and I have accidentally disconnected. Let's go ahead and get this working again. Let's see if I can get back on here. I've made a mistake. That's disappointing. So as of right now, I have to wait until I receive an invite from the party leader. I was trying to change view, and instead of hitting X, I accidentally hit start, and that exits you from spectating, which is not great. Something might have happened because I'm receiving a long text message from the the league manager. Oh no, I hope that me losing connection didn't have an effect on him, because it appears he lost connection as well. And he had a dominant car. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get him into the party. So you can see we're back under green. And I am having issues with the party. But there are workarounds, and that's what I'm trying to do now. So it looks like the one car is broken out to a decent lead over the 7, 5, and 43. Looks like we've got the 14 back there, the 15. Sorry. Something is not working right at the moment, and I don't know why. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. The battle is continuing for second. The 7, 5, and 43 are right on top of each other. Of course, there's an update to the Xbox Party chat on my PC, so I have to update this first in order to have him in a party. The one car is still out front, but second, third, and fourth, the 7, 5, and 43 are right behind him. They've broken out to a pretty hefty lead over fifth place. So I'm currently downloading the update, trying to get this going so that I can interview the driver of the 45 Lone Mist Rebel. Find out what happened out there and what the racing was like. It looks like the race is back under caution once again. So a shake up at the front as some pitch strategy has taken place. And I continue to experience some technical difficulties. I found what I was looking for. Things are not working very good right now. Yeah, this is not... Okay, for some reason, the Microsoft Store app that you have to use to update things is running incredibly slow. And I need that to run well in order to download the update. And it's a shame because we're having some great racing for the lead. The 5, 7, and 43 are all right on top of each other. A little bit of contact right there going into turn 4. If they come off 4, there's a battle for the lead. 3 wide. The 7's trying to block the 1 and take that position. So we have a pass for the lead. The 7 gets in front of the 5. The 1 gets outside the 5 and is trying to make that move work and has momentum to get inside the 7, but makes a little bit of contact. Pushes the 7 into the turn, and the 7 bounces off the wall, comes back down the track. Heavy contact between the 1 and the 7. The 1 getting a bit aggressive there, and it looks like the 15 shoots down the track. The 1, 5, and 43 are all on top of each other. 43 cuts down, trying to make that work. The 1 car holding a steady line right there. A little bit of a shuffle happening as the 7 tries to maintain that outside position. The 1 car straddling the 2 grooves, trying to make sure that no car has all the momentum and all the draft help. It's a 4-car battle for the lead right now. As the 1, 7, 5, and 43. The 1 car getting pressured by the 7. The 7 must be thinking about what happened when the 1 car dove into the turn and punted the 7 into the wall. But they were luckily both able to continue with no issues. Front 4 with a hefty lead over the rest of the field. And if they stay racing like this and the rest of the field races clean, oh, and there's a little bit of contact. The 5 loses control. There's heavy contact as there's an incident. It looks like caution is out. Right as I start to say that, if they race like this and they stay clean, they could reach the back of the field and start to put more cars a lap down. But that caution kills that. Never mind. We have a stage break. So we had a intense race right there for the end of stage 2. People trying to get those extra points before we get to the third and final stage. As they take the green, the 7 car shoots out to the lead, followed by the 5 and the 43, the 14, the 15, the 9. Some people have taken some pit strategies. The 1 car is nowhere to be seen. The cars that took the tires and made a pit stop must be thinking long term. They want to be there at the end of the race in order to have a chance to win. They think, oh, the 5 and the 43 make a little bit of contact. 43 bounces off the wall. The 7 car continues to maintain the lead. The 14 car is now in the top 3. It's been an eventful... Oh, and the cars are almost stopped in turns 1 and 2. The AI cars are almost completely stopped. It's chaos. The 14 gets taken out because the AI cars are not going. And there's no caution. Well, it appears now as if there is a caution after that incident. But as you can see, the AI cars were not moving, and the leaders came around the corner and had nowhere to go. I may have just... Oh, when we're coming to the restart, some of the leaders have pitted. Trying to take that strategy as the other leaders have. The 1 car pitted before that last stage. And the 1 car... The field has shrunk considerably. It's very hard to tell where the 1 car is at the moment. The 1 car is in the pits. The 1 car is out of the race, as is the 45 and the 44. Heartbreaking. And I am still having issues. I don't know what's going on with what's happening with my program. The race at Kansas has become a race of attrition. Who is able to survive to the end of the race? I don't know if Xbox is having connectivity issues or what's happening with the Xbox Live servers, but it seems that there are issues happening with many different things, not just the game. Once again, my method of communicating with people is not working at the moment. I'm having issues with the app on the PC. The way my audio is hooked up, I have to use the PC in order to talk to people. And for some reason, I was not signed in. I kept trying to click the button to sign in and it just wasn't letting me, but I'm trying to resolve that now. All right, let's see if this resolved the issue. And we have finally made contact with Lone Mist Rebel, driver of the 45 car. Lone, how are you doing? What happened out there in the race? We saw some action. We saw a lot of beating and banging. What do you have to say about the race so far? Say again. Hello? Oh, we got you now.
Yes. I am here, sir.
How was the racing out there?
The racing, it was it was fun. It was brutal. Um, you got some fast guys out there. Really got to be on your A game in this kind of racing. Um, got to give it up to some of these guys that battled me the entire time. I got the short end of the stick, Heat 5 online servers. That's always fun. But no, I mean, yeah, I might have lagged out, but I get to watch some of these guys that I helped build a family with racing, and I can't be any more happier. I mean, I would have loved to finish the race, but I had fun.
Anything that happened out there that you learned tonight, this being the inaugural race of your season?
Yes. I do not, I do not own the league, but I am an admin in it, and we are currently discussing the caution issues. Um, with Heat 5, I've learned that the more cautions you run and have going, the more of a randomness of losing connection to the races. Um, so a lot of the people you see that were in the race at the start aren't there now due to lagging out. Those issues will be addressed in the team meeting. Um, we are really working towards building a league that potentially can rival leagues. But for the first race of the season, I expected some bumps in the road.
Will you continue to have AI cars in the race? Because I saw an incident happen where the leaders came around turn 1 and the AI cars were essentially stopped in the middle of the track and the caution had not yet come out.
Um, it will be addressed. I think some of the guys, since we have such a low car count currently, they like the AI cars. It adds a different element to, you're not just battling a real person. An AI car can come out of nowhere, slow you down, or race you hard, pretty much. But it is in consideration of taking AI out. Yes.
Can the AI difficulty be increased? Because we've seen, as you guys were racing, that when some people made pit stops and other people stayed out for strategy purposes, it only took about a lap or two for the people who did pit to quickly make their way through the field.
I'm not entirely sure there's a way to increase the AI difficulty for online racing. Um, I don't know if that's more for the host's personal setting for AI, if they can adjust that themselves. Um, but at the end of the day, when we do our qualifying, whoever has the pole starts the lobby up. Um, we don't do the whole taking a lap to get in position because we do race AI. They don't follow that same rule, even though it is very easy to pass them. But there, there's a lot of things that me and the five car have to discuss. Um, Shout out to the five car. Shout out to the Rooster. This is his league. Um, this is his baby, pretty much. First time running a second season because this is our second season doing this. We took a little break because C5 was having some issues. Servers were down. Lagging got really bad. Um, then we decided to give it another crack to see, what kind of people can get interested in league racing with us, or when iRacing releases their NASCAR game for console, which I am very excited about. Huge iRacing fan, watch it all the time. Um, but for most part, we're taking this first race as a learning curve. Figure out what we need to change, what we should do differently in the following season. Me personally, I come from a racing background where we did the manual cautions, we did no AI and all that stuff, manual stages, and most people don't like that. I have a varied opinion on it. I think it's beneficial, but at the same time, I think it prolongs the race because I think most people want to get back to racing. Um, but yeah, the first race of the season went better than I figured. I thought we were gonna have to restart the race several times to just get everyone in there, but everyone in the race understood that this race was a learning curve to see what we needed to do. And I think we might need to change the whole private lobbies situation. I think we need to just go to open and then manage people, manage random people coming in.
So, just as an outsider perspective, I would say that the AI cars do pose a problem as far as the integrity of the server. The game will boot other connections before it boots AI. So the AI will maintain the memory in the game versus the actual people who are trying to race, because the server could be getting too much of a load by trying to run AI in everyone's game in the server at the same time. Also, I think the AI would probably cause for the majority of the cautions. It's hard to tell because I was focused primarily on the leaders. For the most part, the racing was pretty clean, so it's hard to know if the racing was causing the cautions or if it was just the AI cars. And then of course the parity and the speed differences is significant. So just as I said, as an outside spectator, that's something to take in consideration, especially because after only a few laps, the AI essentially become non-existent until you start to lap them.
I agree. Me personally, if I'm gonna give my honest opinion, I don't like the AI cars. They do have a tendency of causing issues, and coming from the person that was in the race, a lot of those cautions, actually, I believe all of them came from AI being AI in an online server. Um, this was more put up to a vote on if we wanted to run AIs. I think everyone's opinion is going to change after tonight's event. Um, Ooh, we got some close battling for first right there.
Ooh, and the 5 car
Um,
gets into the wall.
we do. We don't have a tendency of working together. I know there was probably some speculation on why the five voted to push me in some certain cases over others. Um, it was just a game plan that me and him came to heading into this race. I'm very happy to see that he's running top three right now. He definitely has a winning car. Um, just gotta limit those mistakes that he has. And I will also say for your viewers that not every race we're going to be in the same cars.
Interesting.
We we've had someone ask us if we were going to have to stay in the same cars, or can we switch it up depending on what their mood would be, and I had no issue with them changing it up. You know,
Okay.
for instance, the five. He's running the five this week. He can run the 20 next week. I highly doubt he's going to run the 20, but there's still that option of changing it up because you can't change the paint schemes on next gen cars.
That's understandable, but once again, as an outside perspective, it would almost be more beneficial if people were assigned teams, and then like, let's say the 5 cars, like, okay, I'm Team Hendrick, and then he can choose any of the 4 cars to drive, and those would be his various paint schemes in order to try to track. Because like, if somebody were to just hop in, if you see different drivers from various teams and manufacturers, it could be a lot to track over time, especially if you're trying to recruit new people to the series. They might see that as like well, I mean, if this person's going to be in a different car next week or something else, or like, how am I going to know? How are you going to get used to racing that one person week after week if they're in a different number or a different team or a different manufacturer? If that makes any sense. Because if it's just
Oh, it does.
if it's just like one guy's track house, one guy's, or like one guy is 2 of the Hendrick cars, or one guy, like, if each person gets like one pair of cars, that would be easier to track as long as the league doesn't get too big. But I mean, the league isn't going to get too big. You have a many number of cars, so I think just making sure that there is some consistency there, so that way it keeps confusion to a minimum, because you can't track the numbers anymore if they switch week to week. I mean, as someone who's racing, so like, if you guys are tracking the points, obviously you can go by the gamer tags. But if somebody just knows as like, okay, I'm racing the 5 car right now, and then the next race they're like, okay, the 5 car's not in this race. I'm like, wait a second, no, that guy is in the race. He's in the 48. What the hell's going on?
I agree with you. This one was I was overruled on with this one. The 5 car and I will have a conversation after this race. Um, and
We
as
have our
you know,
first green
Peg, me
flag
and
pit
you
stops.
have me and you, we have a racing background with each other. We used to be teammates. Um, I we pretty much both come from the same racing background. We have a particular way of how we would do things, but not everyone agrees with the way that we did things.
Right.
Um, but I am definitely gonna put in consideration of those points that you made. Um, I honestly, I gotta receive a message from the five himself, um, agreeing with me about we need to make some changes to the
Right.
league to make it more raceable and less of people lagging out.
Right.
Because from
Because
what
in the
I've
long run,
experienced,
you would definitely want to have a league that's stable, that people can keep coming back to. there was a league that I was a part of where one of the people who ran it was saying that they need to constantly try to recruit new people to it. And as much as that does make sense that you need to make sure you have people available, at the same time, if you are constantly looking to get new people racing, you might force people out. There were some aspects of that league that kept it. You know what league I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but there were some aspects of that league that were run amazingly well, and then there were other aspects that just didn't make sense. And the part that didn't make sense was the inconsistency in veteran organizations and veteran drivers, the special treatment to new people and newcomers, instead of trying to keep a league together and make it stronger. There's a lot of shakeup involved in that league, and that was something that didn't make sense to me, because if you get a good core of racers together and they're racing good, you would think that you would want to make that league friendly to those drivers so you can keep them together and you can keep having good racing. And that's something that needs to be considered for every league. If you want to keep people there, you need to make sure that there's things happening in the race that people aren't lagging out. If AI cars are causing too much of an issue, and it's like, okay, well then AI cars need to be considered to be something that could be a threat to keeping people in a league, or a threat to keeping people from joining the league. There's many different factors. And of course, like you said, there's a learning curve. The 7 and the 5, and the 5 is able to get position. Needs to do a slide job. He did it too late. Whoa! What happened there?
I think a caution might have spiked. Kicked up. But no, yeah, I completely agree with everything you were saying, pertaining to the other league. There was definitely things about that league I would love to incorporate in this one. I just in my situation, I have to keep in mind that there is people in here that never ran that like that before.
Right.
So it's going to be new to them. What me and you are used to running, Joe Schmo down the road that's just getting into racing is going to get confused about all that. And would I like to keep having people coming in? Absolutely. But I love to have newcomers coming in that's never been a part of a racing league to get the experience of a racing league, to potentially broaden their skill level, I should say. I'm all for that as well. We welcome everyone, no matter who it is. Obviously there will be some rules.
The AI cars are causing an issue again.
Yes, and that is definitely going to be addressed.
And it looks like there's only 3 cars left from the drivers that started the race. So people are still lagging out. From what I could see by scrolling through the drivers, we have the current active drivers are the 5, the 14, the 7. Looks like they have lagged out, and the car is an autopilot. So I stand corrected. Currently, there are only 2 cars racing in the race right now from the league.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that are addressed after this race.
And it's possible the 5 car has lagged out. Never mind, I was looking at the AI.
Yeah, I wish online, if an online driver is using a particular AI car, I wish that AI car would not be in that race, so there's no confusion on who is who. If it's an online racer or if it's an AI racer. But no, there is a lot of things that are gonna be discussed. There's gonna be changes by next Tuesday, where it'll be more competitive racing, not as many people lagging out, AI is not going to be an issue. I know most of the people in this league like racing AI. I don't for this particular reason. Um, but at the end of the day, it's a it's only the first race, and that race. Oh, caution. Um, this is the first race of the season, and I fully expected bumps in the road like we are currently having. Um, Man, the five really needs to shift and switch to manual. Top with the automatic stuff.
Yeah, the 5 has not been getting great restarts.
No, I believe he's the only one out of the whole field of online racers that were in the race that races automatic.
Okay.
He's kind of stubborn, kind of like I was for the longest time. Then I had a good buddy of mine. I won't name drop
Oh,
because I
some
don't know if he
contact.
would have liked that. He pushed me to switch to manual, and honestly, I can't race automatic anymore.
Right.
Um, I don't. I like not being ran over at restarts and start of races. Um, but no, uh, there's going to be some changes for sure. Um, there's a lot of things that happen that shouldn't have happened, and I believe the race is over.
Was that the race for the win right there? The 5 car made the pass with 1 lap to go?
I believe so.
That's the other thing I found out while doing this. It would be better to have access to the party audio if I ever do this again. If I
I
could listen to it and I could make the determination whether or not to stream it because I can control that. Because honestly, you have no idea what's going on. You're just going off of whatever you see, and you're like, it looks like a caution. And then I get a text that says stage break. It's like, no, it's a stage break. It's like, okay, this is a little different. And that was the race. The 5 car, the Rooster, takes the win, beating out a Pancoast 7-1. Very
If it's
close
okay with
finish
you,
there.
Peg Leg, I would like to bring in the Rooster,
Yeah,
the owner of the league.
we could do that. We could end the stream for now if you would like, so that way the conversation is private.
That is completely fine.
All right. I'm
Um,
going to go ahead and end the stream here, and yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Yep.